We dig into each event and where their placements are, but they see the big picture, and this is where it wraps up.
And there is Rebecca Fuselier, who needs to pay very close attention to Shelby Neal and Kelly Clark, the two women trying to chase her down for that 5th and final spot. And there is Shelby Neal, who only has one finish outside of the top 5, and that was a 30th in 2014 Regional Event 5, the 3rd event here at the Mid-Atlantic CrossFit Challenge.
I suspect she's going to tighten things up there in the old legless department in the off-season, but other than that, so well-rounded.
A lot of women taking a break here. There's Bailey Rail, who is in 3rd place overall, finishes 13th or better, and she's going to the games.
Bailey Rail showing she has the strength this weekend, so the barbell is heavy. The gymnastic parts of this event are higher skill. When you combine them, it's what's needed. She's the first one to get to that barbell.
Here comes Danielle Brandon and Sydney Mikulishin, and down in lane 2, Kelly Clark. On the bottom of your screen, she is ahead of Fuselier and Neal. Marissa Flowers has the time to beat at 6:28.81 seconds. 15 front squats at 145 pounds here.
Clark keeping the elbows nice and high. Looks really strong in this squat. She has the strength here.
Shelby Neal coming up to the barbell now, behind both Clark and Fuselier in this race for 5th.
I like the composure here from Clark. She's very methodical with these squats.
And now a break for Fuselier and a break for Clark. They have 1 rep each, and they have to lunge out in the front rack. So final rep, and then they're probably going to take off here. Clark right back to work. She's down in lane 2, and Clark will be out first with Danielle Brandon on that first 40-foot lunge. Danielle Brandon just needs to finish 24th or better to get herself into the games. Likely that's going to happen. Fuselier right behind Kelly Clark right now.
You need to be perfect, and this is where you have to stay tight, focus on every single rep. The only thing you're thinking about is this movement, one step at a time, making it count. That was huge, that big step across the line.
And Kelly Clark moving on to the 12-bar muscle-ups. Shelby Neal is working on her front rack lunge. Remember, she has to beat Fuselier in order to have a chance to get inside the top 5. Clark and Fuselier on the left. Kelly Clark came in 5 points back of Fuselier. Assuming they both finish inside the top 10, Kelly Clark is going to have to beat Fuselier by 2 spots in order to make up that deficit.
But Fuselier is crushing these bar muscle-ups.
Clark continuing to work on the left, and now they are dead even. Clark with 5 to go, Fuselier with 5 to go as well, and she keeps herself on the pull-up bar. Now Fuselier ahead of Kelly Clark. Shelby Neal in 3rd place in the race between those 3 right now. There's Brooke Wells in 4th place overall. Wells has got to finish 9th or better in order to make it back to the CrossFit Games. Brandon and Fuselier off first. 9 shoulder to overhead at 115 pounds. And now Kelly Clark is done, and she'll head to the barbell.
Now, if it comes down to these lunges, Kelly Clark needs to get that barbell up. Fuselier is looking a little shaky overhead, unable to lock that out strong.
Fuselier took a break with 3 reps to go. Kelly Clark is on the barbell, making quick work of these shoulder to overhead. Danielle Brandon is on her final lunge. Looking to finish up with 3 straight event wins here at the MACC. Now Clark with a break. Fuselier looks to be the first one done between those 2. And she's going to get right to work on the lunge. 1 rep remains for Kelly Clark. Danielle Brandon is almost done. And she is going to sweep the final 3 events to head back to Madison, Wisconsin. Fuselier has about a 20-foot lead on Kelly Clark right now.
But can she hold it?
Only 5 feet to go for Fuselier. And Rebecca Fuselier has to be careful. The barbell's down. This could open the door for Kelly Clark. Fuselier's got to hurry. Another no rep for Fuselier. Now remember, Clark has got to get someone between her and Fuselier. So if Fuselier can finish up ahead of Mikulishin, she's going to be all right. Clark is in. A no rep for Fuselier. Now here comes Mikulishin. Fuselier has got to hurry. Fuselier gets across, and she may have done enough. Sydney Mikulishin is across. Here's Shelby Neal. She is in. So Fuselier is going to finish 3rd in the event. Clark will finish 2nd. That's only a difference of 4 points. Now Brooke Wells is towards the back here. Wells was only 49 points up on Shelby Neal, but we have yet to hit. Now we have hit the top time from the prior heat. So Brooke Wells has got to be careful. She has to hurry to get across the finish line.
Remember, she was coming into this event in 4th place.
And a no rep for Brooke. Now Kelly Clark finished 2nd. She's going to pick up 96 points. We have to wait and see where Brooke Wells finishes as Lindsey Porter is across. And now Brooke Wells is in. Wells will finish 11th. That will be good for 60 points. But Kelly Clark makes up 36 on Brooke Wells. And I don't think it's going to be enough. Megan O'Donnell is in. And Taylor Reber comes across. Rebecca Fuselier loses the race to Kelly Clark, but she had to get someone between herself and Clark in order to lose her spot inside the top 5. Brooke Wells looks like she could be safe because she only gave up 36 to Kelly Clark. Clark came in with 345 points as you look at the final standings. Wells had 383. That's a difference of 38. 5:03.32 seconds is the winning time from Danielle Brandon as she sweeps the final 3 events. Kelly Clark with a fantastic performance, but it may not be enough.
Coming in 7th place, she needed a perfect run. She did everything she could do. She had a really strong early lunge, took that nice big step to get her ahead of Fuselier here. She had another really strong lunge performance on the back half. This is where Fuselier had to go back on that last 5 feet. That opened the door for Clark to finish ahead of her. Really nice race there at the end with a couple misreps also from Brooke Wells, who came in this event 4th place. She had a no rep on her final steps. Just doesn't cross the line. A little surprising she was this far back. The final event, she wasn't able to lock that out and stand back up, so to come back another 5 feet. A lot of points, a lot of surprises here.
And there is Kelly Clark with her fiance, Lance Kelly. And we are tabulating the scores. But the silver lining right now for Kelly Clark is that her season is still alive. Spots 6, 7, and 8 advance to the Last Chance Online qualifier.
It's hard to wait, but the feeling of emotions when you're done and you gave it your all for Kelly Clark, looking at how she wrapped this up, she has to be happy with her performance. She has to be proud of what she just did right there.
Brooke Wells looks like she did enough. Only giving up 36 points to Kelly Clark, and Clark needed to make up at least 38, if not more, in order to catch Brooke Wells. But again, for Kelly Clark, she may have kept her season alive and earn a chance to compete at the Last Chance qualifier.
And this is it. You know, the athletes can be going through the numbers in their heads, so can their coaches, but really, we've seen it time and time again. Each weekend, you just never know until everything shakes out with all the different scenarios.
I mean, earlier today, the team competition is a great example of that. Last week with the men's competition to the Syndicate Crown, Will Morat doing what he did. So we do know she's going back.
Well, and we do know, I love the Last Chance qualifier. I do like that addition since we have so many different athletes going to different semifinals, however that breaks out to be who's in where. But to get that Last Chance qualifier for those people right there, that's awesome to send one more person. And that's the way it works. You send 3 or you send different numbers depending on what semifinal event you're in. And then there's one Last Chance competition, and one male and one female athlete gets sent to the games from that Last Chance qualifier.
And give Rebecca Fuselier some credit. She was flirting with disaster there late in the event, but was able to get herself back on track and get in ahead of Sydney Mikulishin.
Yeah, she really did. She was really gutsy to be nervous about her muscle-ups early on. She surprised me and went a lot bigger chunks than I expected. She went unbroken on her last bar muscle-ups. It put a lot of fatigue in her shoulders. It was gutsy, but you know what? I got to give it to her for taking the risk.
And there is Sydney Mikulishin. Heading back to the CrossFit Games. Still adding everything up. Brooke Wells talking things over with Tia. It's great to see Wells back out on the competition floor after what happened the last time we saw her at the games. And Danielle Brandon, what a finish for her. 3 straight event wins.
Really nice weekend. I mean, for Danielle Brandon, after last year at the games, I really felt like she had a lot more confidence. And seeing that confidence roll on, I think really that was the biggest thing for her. She just needed to know she belonged there. And seeing the way she dominated and looked at this competition as a whole and this weekend as a whole.
Please, your lane markers.
Let's go down to Mike Richards with the announcement of the 5 women who will be heading to the 2022 Noble CrossFit Games.
All right, our top 5 solidifying their bid for Madison here this summer. Starting off in that number 1 position, give it up for Danielle Brandon. That number 2 position heading out to Madison this summer with 512 points, Sydney Mikulishin. Third place here at the MACC. Make some noise for Bailey Rail. In 4th place with 443 points here at the MACC, Brooke Wells. All right, our final spot in 5th place here at the Mid-Atlantic CrossFit Challenge. Rebecca Fuselier. That's your 1 through 5. Your last chance qualifiers still in effect. Clark, Neal, and Porter. We'll see how it goes. And we'll see you guys in Madison this summer.
Final standings, and for the 2nd straight week here in Knoxville, 1 point separates the athlete in 5th from the athlete in 6th.